folks, JD here, and today we're going to be taking the X23W by Syma out for an outdoor flight. So let's just have a little recap and let's just have a little look at it before we do actually take her up. So this is the Syma X23W. It's a beautifully styled indoor-outdoor quadcopter, although Syma do rate it for being a pure indoor quadcopter. You have LEDs on the outside of the motor housings, you have 4 small brushed motors, an on and off button to the front, you have a 720p camera to the very front of the quadcopter with a nice little hood over the top just to stop any sun glare. You have a battery at the back with a little red push button to eject the battery as well. And here she is. She's not very big, she is very light, but again, there's something about Syma quadcopters I really enjoy, and I think today this is going to be a good flight. I don't know why, I just got this feeling from doing the indoor flight and then bringing her outside here. I really think this is going to be okay. So I tell you what folks, let's get her on the mat, let's get her calibrated, and then let's get her straight up in the air. Alright then folks, so here we have it. So what I'm going to do for the second is I'm just going to set everything up. Now I'm not going to go into it too much because we went into the setup of this in great detail in the indoor flight. But essentially what I'm going to do is turn on the quadcopter, turn on the transmitter, one up and one down to bind as usual, just open and close the throttle. It's automatically connected onto the Wi-Fi there, so I'm going to then open Syma Go, and then once I've opened Syma Go I'm going to click start, and then we should be good. We have video relay. I'm going to record my screen rather than recording the video directly from the quadcopter itself, just because I want to try and see if I can maximize battery in this guy as much as possible. So with this folks, what I'm going to do is now calibrate the gyro, and then we're going to take her up. So let's do it. Alright, we are up. We're outdoor flying the little Syma X23W. And I'm just controlling her directional movements, but obviously her altitude is being held by that barometer, and it's being held really nicely. She's not waving, she's not flapping around. It's just really nice. Such a nice little flyer. Let's take her out. This is in speed mode 1 or low. There are 2 speed modes, low and high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the right analog stick. I'm going to hear 2 beeps. Those 2 beeps are now going to inform us that we are flying in high mode. Oh, I so look forward to flying these little guys. I really do. Right, okay, so my favourite Syma copter of all time has got to be the X20 out of everything. I do enjoy the X5C a lot, but the X20 I think was one of the quadcopters that I first started flying that made me love nano quadcopters. Because before, any long-time viewers of the channel will know that I used to absolutely detest flying nanocopters, and then I flew the Syma X20 and it just changed my mind totally. It was just so smooth, it was so, as everybody else just wasn't able to, as every other nano quadcopter that I had flown wasn't able to fly properly, or there was something that was wrong with it, the Syma X20 just really blew me out of the water. And it's the same for this guy. It totally is the same for this guy. We have a lovely looking quadcopter here, which has really good air presence. It has a good barometer for altitude hold. It really does hold really well in the air. That camera being 720p, okay, there are going to be better cameras. These aren't great, the lenses aren't brilliant. You know, it's not going to be a Zeiss lens, it's not going to be anything like that. But at the same time, it is going to give you satisfactory video of anything that it is exactly looking at. Oh, and it looks like all this mist is clearing around by me. And right in the distance there, it looks like we do have quite a lot of rain clouds coming in. We have got bad weather forecast, so you can see some of the mist here. It's starting to move away, and then in the distance we do have rain clouds, storm clouds coming in. Oh joy, yet more rain. So here we go. Well, let's enjoy this flight as we can. Oh, she is so nice. Her movements are really, really nice as well. They're really quick. This is in speed mode 2, don't forget. Speed mode 1, if I was just to click back into speed mode 1, we'd hear the single beep from the transmitter, and then we'd get a very gentle flight. Now, I wouldn't recommend this quadcopter be taken out in any wind. Today we have a wind registering 1 miles per hour, and as you can see, she is able to cut through it, she's able to move, and there isn't much of a problem. She seemed, well, there isn't any problem. What am I saying? Much of a problem? No, there isn't any problem. She's fine. She's doing well. Hello. She's doing well. 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 She's do So all in all, she's doing really, really well. Oh, you see her sort of, I'm forward pitching her, but she's sort of not going, that's kind of at her limit. Let's not damage those motors, let's put her into high mode, and now she's able to just push off from this little breeze that we've got coming in. Oh, oh, she is very, very nice indeed. I really like her, folks, I really do. How can you not? How can you not, I think? Indoors she was great. Unfortunately my living room isn't big enough for a proper indoor flight, but outdoors she just comes into her own. She really does. Now when I say don't fly her in high winds, what I actually mean is anything 3 to 4 miles an hour I would say isn't going to be great. I have done a wind test with this guy in 3 to 4 miles an hour, which is going to be coming out quite shortly, and she wasn't fantastic at all. I just wanted to see exactly how she would do, wait until there are days where it is cold, such as this, it is a little bit of frost, but there is no breeze, no wind whatsoever. Oh, she's doing so superbly. She really is doing so well. And she's so quiet. I like that. In the house she was quite loud, but obviously you have the sound there reverbing off the walls and bouncing everywhere, but out here she's just so quiet. It's so nice, so gentle. Yeah. I don't think anything will ever make me feel the way that I felt when I first flew the X20. But I tell you what, folks, this is really coming close. Really coming close. She's just so good. She just feels so refined. Okay, don't get me wrong, she's still a toy grade quadcopter. She always will be a toy grade quadcopter. I'm not trying to make her something that she's not. But at the same time, she just feels so nice. Let's bring her in, let's bring her around. Yes. Now I was just mostly intrigued today to see exactly how she flew. I was very intrigued to see how she would do in a good environment. And she seems to work really well. So tell you what, let's bring her back while we've still got some battery. Let's take her up using the smartphone as well. That's going to be a good one, so let's do that. So let's bring her down and then let's take her back up using the smartphone. Okay, so for this what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn off the transmitter. I'm not going to turn off the quadcopter. Normally with some quads you've got to turn them off and ensure that everything is off before you fly. I'm not going to with this guy. I'm just going to see, haha, and it does. It flies without having to turn off the transmitter because the constant connection via Wi-Fi is already established. She knows there's another transmitter which is connected, which is this one. Now let's bring up the bottom. Let's put her into high speed. Let's take her out a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a smartphone control. It's not going to be great, but it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. There are a lot of times whenever I use smartphone controls and I get a little bit disgruntled when I do use them, because I think to myself, oh, just let us pay an extra 10 quid, whack a transmitter in with it, and it would be a lot better. But this guy just works well on smartphone and on transmitter. Jumping about the place, no problems at all. It's not as nice, don't get me wrong, it's not as refined, it's not as comfortable, it's not as tactile, but still, it's not something to mark it down on, because it does it so well. You know, it really does it so well. Right, I got these clouds coming in. I can feel this breeze getting a little bit stronger. So I tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to do a little spin and we're going to bring this guy down using automatic landing. So there we go, automatic landing, no control on this. Let it just do it itself. And it's down. There we go, perfect. It's actually really quite close to a puddle there. Maybe I should have had a bit more control over that. But there we go. This is what we've got. This is the beautiful little Syma, and it works so well, it really does, and it's something that I really enjoy. It's something that makes me think that there is a lot of thought that goes into toy grade quadcopters. There is a lot of planning, and it's not just, they don't just throw them together. Now this guy really does excite me quite a lot when I fly him, because he just feels so right when he's up in the air. Controlling via smartphone or via transmitter, his movements are so precise. You want him to go somewhere, you want him to come back, he's not wallowing, he's not extending his reach as he's turning around, he's just coming straight back. When you bank him, his banks are really quite sharp, and they really do hold themselves really well in the air. All in all, I love this guy, I really do. I can't sing this guy's praises enough. Now, there are downsides, as with every quadcopter, there are always downsides. One of them being, you have to wait for a day like this, where there's no breeze. Okay, there's a breeze incoming now because of all that, but there's no breeze, there is nothing. We had 1 mile an hour when I took her up. She was really, you know, there is no sort of environmental factors which are going to buffet her left and right. So I would say, if you are going to take her outside, even though this Syma has rated this as an indoor quadcopter, ensure the day is extremely still. But that being said, I think that is the only sort of downside I have. The camera, sorry, is okay. The lens isn't brilliant, but you do still get an okay-ish picture out of it. Okay, you can't use it in a film festival as a competition, but at the same time, you are going to get a picture out of it that you can see. You haven't got to squint to see. There isn't a haze over it. It is quite clear. So there we are, folks. Thank you ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.